So today, the aim of today's practical is to identify given unknown compounds present in given binary mixture. Okay, so today we will see how to identify the given unknown compound present in given binary mixture. Okay, that is a qualitative analysis. Okay, we are going to identify the compounds present in given mixture. So before doing identification test, preliminary test or functional group detection test, elemental analysis, it is important to separate the given compound. Okay, so this is unknown binary mixture. So how to separate this unknown binary mixture? So unknown binary mixture, the first step, nature of this mixture, it contains two compounds. That is the nature of this mixture. It is a solid. It is a mixture of two compounds which are having solid nature. Okay, and the next thing, we have to determine the type of compound, which type of compound is present, whether it is acid, whether it may be base, or it may be neutral, or it may be phenolic compound. Okay, दिलेला कंपाऊंड हा ऍसिड आहे, बेस आहे, न्यूट्रल आहे का फिनॉलिक आहे, हे आयडेंटिफाय करण्यासाठी सर्वात महत्त्वाचे जे टेस्ट आहेत ते आज आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत. आणि कंपाऊंडचं आपण सेपरेशन करणार आहोत. starting of qualitative analysis starts with the separation of binary mixture. So first thing, okay, you have to take a test tube. Okay, test tube holder. Okay, and in that test tube we take a little amount of compound. Okay, then first test is solubility test, that is solubility of given compound in water. Okay, whether it is soluble in water or insoluble in water. Okay, then I add little amount of water. You can add 5 ml 2 ml water and just shake the mixture. Okay, whether it is soluble or insoluble, or you can shake like this one also. So this is mixture of compound, but you can see here there is separation of two compounds, one at the bottom and another at the top. At the bottom one compound is settled down and another at the top, one compound, white color compound, is floating on the water. Okay, means usually we can determine the solubility, but this compound, both compounds, you can see here, they are insoluble in water. Means the given binary mixture consists of two compounds, but no compound is soluble in water. Okay, you can see at the bottom one pale color compound is there, and on water the another compound is floating, that is of white color. Okay, so no compound is soluble in water. This is first is solubility test, means we can say that both compounds, they are not soluble in water, any of one is not soluble in water. So this is the first test. Okay, then second test. Okay, for second test you have to take another test tube. Okay, take little amount of mixture, binary mixture. Okay, this is sufficient. Then next step is you use sodium bicarbonate. First we need to check solubility in water, second solubility in sodium bicarbonate, third solubility in sodium hydroxide, means 10% sodium hydroxide, sodium bicarbonate, and lastly in dilute HCl. Okay, now I will take, this is your 10% sodium bicarbonate solution. Just add sodium bicarbonate solution. So here you can clearly see the effervescence. Okay, so I have added the little compound, therefore little amount of effervescence is there. Okay, you can clearly see the small bubbles, they are coming outside of the liquid, and we will get a clear solution. And at the bottom of the test tube, the another compound, pale color compound is present, and one compound is dissolving in the water. Okay, with effervescence. Okay, if I add more amount of compound, then I will get more effervescence, but you can observe this. Okay, so white color compound is dissolved completely and one only pale color compound is present at the bottom. So this is a test by using sodium bicarbonate. Okay, means the given compound is soluble in sodium bicarbonate. What is meaning or what is conclusion of this test? Means in binary mixture, one compound present is acid. Okay, it gives effervescence. Okay, then after this, okay, we know that this compound, one compound is soluble in sodium bicarbonate. Then we can start with the separation. If it is not soluble in sodium bicarbonate, then we go for the next test, that is solubility in sodium hydroxide. Okay, if compound is soluble in sodium bicarbonate, means acid is present. If compound is soluble in sodium hydroxide, means phenol is present, because it forms phenoxide ion. Okay, it increases solubility in sodium hydroxide. Okay, and if compound is not soluble in water, not soluble in sodium bicarbonate, not soluble in sodium hydroxide, if it is soluble in HCl, dilute HCl, means the compound present is basic in nature. जर तो HCl मध्ये सोल्युबल असेल याचा अर्थ काय, दिलेला कंपाऊंड एक बेसिक आहे. ओके, तर आता हा कंपाऊंड आपला कशामध्ये सोल्युबल आहे? सोडियम बायकार्बोनेट मध्ये. एक कंपाऊंड सोल्युबल आहे, दुसरा कंपाऊंड सोल्युबल नाहीये. ओके, देन वी विल स्टार्ट विथ द सेपरेशन. आता आपण सेपरेशन स्टार्ट करूया, कारण की एक कंपाऊंड सोल्युबल झालेला आहे, दुसरा कंपाऊंड सोल्युबल नाही. ओके, देन यू हॅव टू टेक अ बिकर अँड यू हॅव टू ऍड दिस कंपाऊंड. ओके, बाकीच्या टेस्टसाठी आता आपल्याला इंडिव्हिज्युअल कंपाऊंड पाहिजे बायनरी मिक्सचर मधला, तर आपण हे बायनरी मिक्सचर या ठिकाणी ऍड करूयात. This much quantity I want to separate out. Okay, you can add whole compound binary mixture or as per your requirement. Okay, then next step is addition of sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so this is your sodium bicarbonate solution. You can add the sodium bicarbonate solution, and here after addition you can clearly observe the effervescence. You can clearly observe the effervescence, as well as you can see the bubbles. With the help of stirrer, you mix this one, this binary mixture. You can see the effervescence coming out. Okay, this part, that is effervescence, they are coming out. Okay, and also you can listen the sound of effervescence. So here the given binary mixture we are going to separate. Okay, as it is soluble in, one compound is soluble in sodium bicarbonate. Here you can see the bubbles which are coming outside the solution. Okay, they are the effervescence of your CO2. And also you can listen the sound of the effervescence coming outside from the solution after reaction. The next step is filtration. Okay, so that we can separate out both the compounds, one as a residue and another compound as a filtrate. Okay, so this is your filter paper. How to fold this filter paper? You have to make fold like this one. This is funnel, tripod stand, and one beaker for filtrate. Okay, so after that you have to add this. Hmm. So here we filtrated the compound. So you can see this is the residue, means one compound is separated here in residue as a solid, and the another compound is present as a filtrate. You can see here it is a filtrate. Okay, so filtrate, that liquid contains another compound, that is acid. Okay, so we have dissolved that compound in the solution of sodium bicarbonate, means it contains the sodium salt of acid, okay, which is present in the liquid form as a filtrate. So another compound here solid. Okay, now you can take this out. Okay, so here is our solid compound which is separated. Okay, to save the time I have set two assemblies for filtration. Okay, this is your filtrate. Here is another compound, that same compound, that is solid compound. Okay. You have to dry this compound by using filter paper. By pressing it, you can dry that compound. Filter paper absorb the moisture. Okay. This is your one solid compound. So only looking at the compound we can identify that compound. Okay, so this compound may be alpha naphthol or beta naphthol. Okay, if you perform the practical regularly, then you can identify the compound by just observing its physical states. Okay, so this is one solid compound, and another compound which is present in the liquid state, that is your acid, and in liquid that is a sodium salt of acid. So there is a question how to separate out this one. Okay, so for that we have to add dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, after addition of this dilute hydrochloric acid, that compound will reappear. Okay, now you can see how it reappears. So this is our filtrate. Okay, this one is a residue. One compound is present in residue, another compound is present in this liquid, means filtrate. So how to make it reappear? By using dilute HCl. Okay, just you can see this is dilute HCl. You can observe the change. So precipitation takes place, compound will reappear. Oh, sorry, just here is formation of precipitate. Okay, means acid will reappear. So here you can see that precipitate present. Okay, with the help of stirrer you mix it properly. Okay, just wait for a moment. Then we have to filter this again, so that we will get solid acidic compound which is dissolved in sodium bicarbonate. You can see the another compound which is reprecipitated as a solid, that is acid present. Okay, and this is filtrate. It do not contain any compound, so compound present here which is reprecipitated after addition of hydrochloric acid. Now we can take out this compound and dry it. just you can dry it by pressing with filter paper which absorb the water. With the help of spatula you can take out this. So in this session we discussed about, we have performed the discussed and performed the separation of binary mixture. So in today's binary mixture there are two compounds present. One is this faint pale color compound and another compound is white color compound. So we have determined the nature of this compound, that is the both are solid compounds. And another type of compound, this compound white color compound is acid, and another this compound pale color compound we can determine after performing the test. Okay, so this pale we can, after looking at this compound also we can identify this compound. This is a phenol. Okay, so it is actually, this is a bitter naphthol. Okay, and this one is a salicylic acid. So we cannot draw the conclusion before performing the tests, but we have separated two compounds. So at this point we can draw the conclusion that the one compound is acid and another compound is not determined yet. So by performing the individual test we can determine the nature of both compounds. So aim of today's session of practical is to how to separate the binary mixture. So first of all we have taken two compounds. First we perform the solubility in water. The compound, both compounds, they are not soluble in water. Therefore next we have added the sodium bicarbonate solution, and we found that we got the efflorescence of carbon dioxide, CO2, and hence we can say that the compound, one compound is soluble in your sodium bicarbonate, that is acidic in nature. So after performing the filtration we will get this residue, and in filtrate we have added dilute hydrochloric acid, and then we will get this compound, that is acidic compounds. So this is all about today's session. Thank you.